Okay, in this video we're just going to learn how to get a world clock program for our desktop. This video is absolutely optional. It's the only optional video really in the course that I think is non-essential, but it is very helpful if, like me, you don't particularly like having to do mental maths all the time, or mental math all the time. When trying to figure out what time it is in the UK, what time is it in the US, what time is it in Tokyo, what time, or wherever you are, what the time is basically, and it's kind of helpful to have therefore a world clock. The world clock can to help us to straight away find out what the time is. If there's an announcement coming out at 8:30 a.m. EST. It takes me a few seconds at least to work out what time that means GMT. So whereas having a world clock like the world clock we're going to get is free, by the way, gives us kind of an instant comparison as to what time it is in the UK, what time is it in the US, what time is it in any other city virtually in the world. So to do that, we're going to go to the following website, www.download.com. So that's www.download.com. You'll come up with a screen which is much like the capture that you see in the video, and I want you to type into the search the following word. It's not a real word, but it's the name of the product, and the product is called Q-Lock, clock spelt with a Q, and then click Go. And what should happen is it'll give you some results from this website, download.com, and one of the top results will be Q-Lock. So we want to then click on Q-Lock. I'm going to now download and install this world clock program. I chose Q-Lock because it's very simple to install, and it's got a nice colourful interface which helps you to visualize the different time zones. And also it has an option which doesn't seem to be terribly accurate, so I wouldn't depend on it, which quotes the current currency prices. But we won't be using Q-Lock for our currency prices, but it was just an interesting feature that made me think, this is the one I'm going to use. So to download Q-Lock, start at this page where we've got Q-Lock 1.7. There's a review. It tells you a bit about the publisher, from the publisher of the program. We'll click on download now, and what should happen is your browser will bring up automatically a window allowing you to save or run the program or open the program. So we want to probably save it first, so just click on save. I'm using Mozilla, so I'm going to click, it's already allowed me to select save and then click OK. With Internet Explorer it'll give you another option to save it or run it. So you want to save it to your hard drive. Okay, it's done that very, very quick. And then if you have the option, open that installer program straight away. And then it'll come up with these options, components to install. I wouldn't bother having it in the start menu shortcuts. I'm not going to bother having it running on startup, though you may if you wish. What that means is when your computer starts itself up, your trade station, you will have the Q-Lock automatically running as soon as you are connected to the internet. I'm not going to bother with that. I open it when I need it, so I've not checked that box. I'm then going to click on next and install. This page, the window that's popped up, tells you where you can install it. I'm just going to install it to the default destination folder, which is program files /Qlock on my C drive, and I'm going to now click install. It says that it requires 3.9 megabytes. I've got over 1,000 remaining on my C drive, so that's fine, and I'm going to click install to install the program, and it'll install the program automatically. You can then close, when it says completed, you can then close that installer. It says the installation has finished, would you like to run it now? I'm going to click yes, and that will run the program straight away. You can now, you probably can't see this actually, but on the bottom right of the screen, in the quick launch area of my desktop, there's a little world icon now that if I double click it, it will come up with the Q lock. So when you do this, you'll see your Q lock, and the default settings is you'll have the LA time, the New York time, the London time and the Tokyo time. I'm only particularly myself interested in the New York time because I know that's EST, and the London time. If you're in Asia or if you're interested in the other time zones, you can by all means keep those up. But for now I'm going to remove those two time zones and just have the New York and London time. So basically what this program does, it gives you a quick reference as to what the time is currently in England if you're in the US, for example, and in the US if you're in England. Extremely helpful if you don't want to do the mental maths of what time is it across the other side of the world. As I say, this step is optional and it's only for your benefit with regards to finding out the current time across different zones. So I hope that's helpful, and we'll move on to the next video.